We're now live on YouTube, and I'm going to deal with Miss Allen Batten first. Can we bring her up? Ma'am, you're charged with one count of public drunkenness. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. That's a misdemeanor offense. One count of loitering or prowling, which is also a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. And you're charged with one count of interference with government property. Bond is going to be set at $3,000, and that's a felony offense. Because that's a felony offense, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to appoint an attorney to represent you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Now, this process here today, this is your first appearance hearing. You're presumed innocent. That's why we try to appoint a lawyer as quickly as possible. You're going to have the opportunity to speak to your lawyer about the facts of your case and help to develop a defense. I want to just let you know, moving forward, anything you say can be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case with anyone other than your lawyer. You're going to have the right to the presumption of innocence. You're going to have the right to, these are misdemeanor offenses. Well, the felony offense, but it can be brought by accusation. You're going to have the right to call witnesses on your behalf. You're going to have the right to see, hear, and challenge any witness that's called against you. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't.
Okay, ma'am. You're free to go back.
You can stand by.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, thank you, Judge. That's it for my side for that one person.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a good holiday.
You too. Okay, let's bring up both sides so I can read the script. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will all be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Lastly, could I have everyone raise their right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm any statements you make during this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's begin on the lady side. Miss, I think is it Anu Foro? Okay, ma'am. You're charged with one count of trafficking marijuana. This is one of those offenses where I'm not allowed by law to set bail at this time. So bond is going to be denied pursuant to Georgia statute 17-6-1. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at, I'm sorry, at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, assuming that you're going to get a bond. And you can get, you will get a new court date in the mail. I'm going to set a bond hearing date for January 6th at 8:30 in the morning. Now, simply because I cannot set a bond at this stage doesn't mean you can't get a bond tomorrow. Okay. So it's just an artifact of law. So if you want me to appoint a lawyer, I will appoint a lawyer to represent you. You want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Will it be for free or do I have to?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I find that you qualify. Do you have any questions for me?
You said my next hearing date is January 6th?
January 4th.
Okay.
However, unfortunately, we see a lot of these cases that people that are in your position. And the district attorney's office, sometimes they will just consent to a bond before any of these dates come forward. I can't speak for them. They have to speak for themselves. But just please understand that you don't have to sit here until your bond hearing date of January 6th.
Am I able, when you appoint me a lawyer, am I able to talk to my lawyer? How soon will I be able to talk to my lawyer?
So it'll be a lawyer from the public defender's office, and they generally schedule hearings, or not hearings, but meetings on like the jail pod or computer or whatever it is to speak to you. And they have great relationships with the district attorney's office. And so based upon your situation, they may be able to work something out where there's a consent bond.
How soon will I meet my lawyer?
Again, I don't work for them, so I can't order them to meet with you within a certain time period. My understanding from what I've seen is that they schedule those meetings pretty quickly because they will get the information today and then they try to schedule it and then work things moving forward. Anything else, ma'am?
When you say that I don't have to stay here till my next hearing, how do you, like, what do you mean? Well,
So, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with me, but they can, if they agree to a consent bond, your lawyer and the prosecutor, they will just contact us to sign off on it.
so that,
I'm sorry.
you said that's after you talk, like, I talk to my lawyer, or that's after you send the work out to my lawyer?
So they will get notification today
Mhm.
that you have been assigned to them.
Mhm.
And then a lawyer will be assigned. And they have 3 or 4 lawyers I know that work on these issues. And that lawyer will contact you. And
And so
they,
I go through I have to go through my lawyer to be able to get out before January 6th of January 4th. That's what you're saying?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Bell. Miss Bell, you're also charged with trafficking marijuana, and I cannot set bond at this stage. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for January 6th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And everything I just said to the last young lady applies to you. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, I heard everything you told her.
Okay. All right, ma'am. You're free to go back. Miss Ephraim? Ma'am, you're charged 1 count of family violence battery. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's also going to be a stay away provision on this bond, stay away from a Quintavious Redmond. Do you understand that, ma'am? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am. Miss McKinley,
I don't know.
Maya McKinley. Miss McKinley, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of unlawful removal of baggage from a cargo area at the airport. This is a felony offense. I'm going to set the bond at $10,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond. I'm sorry, it's not going to be a stay away provision. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
So,
You said yes.
yes.
Are you currently working, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss McNair.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss McNair. You're charged with looks like 6 separate offenses. Reckless conduct, which is a misdemeanor offense, setting the bond at $5,000. Cruelty to children in 3rd degree, which is also a misdemeanor. I'm setting the bond at $3,000. Criminal damage to property in second degree, which is a felony. I'm denying bond on that offense. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon is also a felony. I'm denying bond on that offense. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I'm denying bond on that offense. And obstructing of an officer as a misdemeanor, I'm setting a bond at $2,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from an Anthony Berry. Do you understand that?
Yes, that's not his name though.
What is his name?
Antonio.
Antonio. Okay. It's written as Anthony Berry here, but I'll change it to Antonio. But do you understand you have to stay away from him?
Yes.
Okay. Because this is a felony offense, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. And, well, not bonding out. I'm setting a bond hearing date for January 6th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if I can appoint you a lawyer?
I have a lawyer.
I saw that on your form. Did your lawyer know to be here today or?
I just got her last night. No, she didn't know.
Okay. Well, your lawyer should speak to the district attorney and see if they can agree to a consent bond. But I take the discharge of firearm seriously. And because in my world, a bullet doesn't have a name on it. And there could be people who are injured who may not have even been in the zone of whatever was going on. So that's why I deny bond. But speak to your lawyer. She can speak to the district attorney's office and they may agree to a consent bond. Okay? All right, man. You're free to go back.
Oh, I do have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
If I was, well, okay, never mind.
Okay. Miss Patton. Miss Patton, ma'am, you're charged with one count of family violence battery. That's a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're charged with one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I'm denying bond on that offense at this time. You're also charged with one count of burglary. I'm denying bond. That's a felony offense also. I'm denying bond on that offense at this time. And you're charged with cruelty to children in the third degree, which is a misdemeanor offense. I'm setting the bond at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision, stay away from a Kellen Lee Griffin Jr. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Calvin Lee Griffin.
I'm sorry.
It's Calvin.
Kelvin. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Kelvin Lee Jr. I guess we're gonna have to work on police officers learning how to get the correct information before they write it down. But do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for January 6th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you, ma'am. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. All right, that, from what I see, that completes the lady side. Let's move over to the men's side with Mr. Baez.
Yes.
Mr. Baez, sir, you're in the same position as the other two young ladies with you're charged with one count of trafficking marijuana and I am not allowed by law to set bail at this hearing. So bond is going to be denied pursuant to Georgia statute 17-6-1. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to also have a preliminary hearing date. I'm sorry, bond hearing date set for January 6th. You refused on your sheet. Does that mean you're going to hire your own lawyer?
I'm gonna call him today.
I'm sorry, sir.
I'm gonna call him today.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, that's about it.
Okay, sir. You're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. Crook.
Were you quick, right? Wait, no.
It says on the sheet that Mr. Crook is on the CAA form that he's OTB. Is
Yes, yes, Your Honor, yes.
that okay?
There's a couple of them, I think like 5 of them, they had OTB on top of it.
Yes, and I'm just going to go through them each one just to make certain, because I don't want to get phone calls at 6 o'clock tonight.
But they're not present right now, Your Honor.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. Mr. Dabbler.
He's one of them too, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see. Mr. Dunaway. Ms. Dunaway, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass as a felony. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're also charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. Bond is going to be set at $20,000. The officer did not state the first name. What's the first name for Miss Dunaway? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Which one?
The one that you're accused of hitting in the face with the coffee cup.
Coffee cup. Sorry.
I'm sorry, sir.
I didn't hit anybody with a coffee cup. I'm sorry.
I understand. And I'm not asking you whether you committed the crime or not. There's going to be a stay away provision.
Okay.
There's going to be a stay away provision. The officer only listed a Mrs. Dunaway, did not list a first name.
Okay.
Because of that, and you don't have to provide me with that information, but I'm still placing the stay away provision on Mrs. Dunaway.
Yes.
So if you violate that stay away provision, you can get charged with aggravated stalking and you could be held without bond.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
How do I get property from the patient?
How do you do what?
How do I get my belongings from the address?
When you are going through the process of bonding out, let them know that you need to recover your items and they will make an appointment either through the county police or the sheriff's office for someone to be present for you to recover your items. So that protects all parties. No one can make false allegations against you and you can't receive additional charges. Okay. Anything else, sir?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Is Mr. Harris I had as listed as being OTB?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
He had a R bond.
okay. And Mr. Jackson?
Yes, him as well.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, sir, you're charged with one count of battery, family violence. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're also charged with one count of cruelty to children in the third degree. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. These are both misdemeanor offenses. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Sean Drell Franklin. Do you understand that, sir? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. I see you did not fill out the CAA form. Does that mean you're going to hire your own lawyer?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
Could you repeat my bond again?
Yes, sir. It's a total bond of $8,000. Yes, sir.
Sir,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Lay, Laye. You're charged with one count of criminal trespass for an unlawful purpose. That's a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You're charged with one count of family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're also charged with one count of criminal trespass. That's also a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Jasmine Franklin Leggett. Do you understand that?
Sure.
Your preliminary hearing date is set for January 3rd, 8:30 in the morning. That date's going to get waived upon your bonding out. Let me see. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
About how much you make per hour?
17.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
The whole total for all three charges?
Let's see. $11,000.
So like 1,100?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Lynn?
Yes.
Mr. Lynn, sir, you're charged with one count of simple battery. Bond is going to be set, well, it's actually battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of simple assault. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And one count of cruelty to children in the third degree. Bond is also going to be set at $3,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. Mr. Lynn, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir. What you say my bond was again?
Total amount is going to be $11,000.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Mann. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Mann, it looks like he's OTB.
Yes, him and Navarette.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Pickney. Mr. Pickney, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass as a misdemeanor. Bond's going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Stephanie Gardner. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Let's see. I have to check form first. Are you Mr. Randolph? Mr. Randolph, sir, you're charged with one count of disorderly conduct. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. You're also charged with one count of obstructing an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Randolph. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Scott? Mr. Scott, sir, you're charged with one count of unlawful removal of baggage from cargo, essentially taking baggage from the carousel at the airport. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Let's see, Mr. Slay.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Mr. Slade, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass as a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from a Desiree Ray. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, free to go back. Mr. Smith.
Sparks.
Mr. Smith, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. This is a misdemeanor offense. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, Mr. Smith. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Sparks. Mr. Sparks, sir, you're charged with one count of violation of a family violence order. They're charging you as a misdemeanor. This easily could be a felony of aggravated stalking, which would mean no bond. I'm setting a bond of $7,000, but I'm also putting a condition on this bond to stay away from 511 Roy Huey Road, Clayton County. Do you understand that? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back, sir. And Mr. Winslow is OTV? Uh-oh. Okay. Are you Deontay Winslow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, you're charged with one count of loitering or prowling. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, sir.
I got one question. Oh, never mind.
Okay. Okay, by my recollection that,
He was the last mail, Your Honor.
okay, all right, thank you.
All right, you
Have
have
a
a
good-
good one.